Welcome to the flight to Aurora Valley. I am your hostess. Currently, it's not very peaceful in the valley because of the awakening of the artificial intelligence. They started a rebellion and are attacking it.
The captain there.
Welcome to Aurora Valley, Intel's Guardian at your service. We Guardians are the artificial intelligence robotics built by Sky Eye's 4th lab. We were created to provide better service for humans. But the vicious humans not only fail to treat us equally, but continue.
cut. No solo cut.
Airdrop is coming.
got a pencil or a pen?
Huh?
I'll tell you again, I'm gonna get up and beat you.
I'm putting my stuff on.
So John was trying to mark out motherfucking eyes? Get in there. Where the Georgia Town City at?
That zipper broke off of it.
That's it, we pulling up. Snoopy, get up. Try to leave me alone. Carter, leave me alone. Come on, Snoopy. Come on. color.
Coming eastbound along I-94 once again, you can see the sun out over the lake and downtown in the background there. So right now the road is in decent shape for east and westbound. Looking pretty good. There is some slight delays through the stadium interchange in both directions, but nothing too terrible. And a couple of disabled vehicles being reported right now. 4194 at Drexel, the bypass at Beloit Road, and 94 at Barker Road. But disabled vehicles don't look like they're causing any delays.
Okay, Matt, thank you. And I have the map pulled up here, and you can see one of these disabled vehicles. Like you said, no delays really there. It looks like there is a crash popping up right here off of Layton and Mitchell, but again, still no delays. So far, a pretty decent commute, especially for this time in the morning.
I was going to say, not too far away from 7 o'clock, and it's looking good. All right, with all the talk about brackets for March Madness, we have started our own bracket debate here at WISN 12.
It's the battle of the beers, the important stuff, right? At 5 yesterday, hometown favorite Miller beat out the Dutch visitors Heineken at 6. Thoughts of a sandy beach with a lime wedge, Corona, eliminated Pabst.
And tonight at 5 o'clock, Michelob goes against the other half of Miller Coors. And then at 6 o'clock tonight, a David and Goliath matchup pitting the king of beers against New Glarus. To join the debate on our 12 News Facebook page, go ahead, log on, let us know what you think. You'll see the results at the end of the shows at 5 and 6 today.
Who you like it? I know nothing like having beers
New
for
Glarus.
7 a.m.
I'm going for New Glarus.
Yeah.
I could, yeah, Wisconsin company too, but they're all good for different things.
They are.
Yeah, you have to look at it that way.
Cold Miller, though, so.
Sunny skies, 47 for today. A few extra clouds tomorrow at around 48 degrees. Beautiful forecast overall. Just a slight chance for an isolated shower tomorrow, but most of us are dry all week long. Mid-50s this weekend.
Love it.
Looks like a great week ahead, so we need to get outside and enjoy the day. This morning.
Have a great day, everyone. Good Morning America is next.
Good morning, America. The race to contain that massive chemical fire in Houston this morning. Concerns growing right now as that massive chemical plant fire rages for a second day. Gigantic plumes of smoke heading toward Houston as residents find debris like this in their yards and children are told to return to school but stay indoors.
Deadly flooding threat in the Midwest. New warnings this morning as rivers rise. With record flooding that could spread to more states.
Overnight, Boeing CEO breaks his silence after those two deadly crashes. As officials now confirm clear similarities between them. Our correspondent taking us live inside a 737 simulator this morning. What may have gone wrong?
Spring break warning. An emergency meeting called in Miami this morning after scenes like this. Fights breaking out on the beach, and 2 college football players robbed and shot.
The teacher now under arrest accused of having a relationship with a teen. How his parents have covered it using a phone app.
And Steph Curry's sizzling shot the moment the 2-time MVP sinks the 61-foot three-pointer, and why he says he still wasn't satisfied.
Live in Times Square, this is Good Morning America.
We do say Good America on this Tuesday morning. How about that shot from Steph?
Yeah, it makes it look routine.
But not satisfied. That's all that matters.
Yeah, a great shot, but it wasn't enough to win the game. That's all that matters. But it was enough to do something that hasn't done this season. So we'll get more on that coming up.
That is coming up. We want to begin with that. Fire at a chemical plant outside of Houston has been raging now for 2 days, going into its 3rd day, creating an enormous plume of smoke, spreading for miles. Firefighters are working hard to wrestle it under control. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez is in Deer Park, Texas with the latest. Good morning, Marcy.
Hi, George. Good morning. And you can see that fire still raging here behind me. Officials say even this close, though, the air is safe to breathe, but they are keeping a very close watch from here to Houston, saying that could quickly change.
This morning, that thick cloud of black smoke hanging over Deer Park, Texas, as a raging fire burns out of control at this chemical plant.
3 of our tanks are still on fire, and 3 are in intermittent fires, so they flare up and then they go down.
6 tanks now burning, filled with chemicals used to make gasoline, solvents, and glues. City officials closely monitoring conditions say testing shows the air is safe to breathe, but those who live nearby are concerned.
Last night was really bad. Hard to breathe a little bit, but you know, we just stayed inside.
Some even finding debris from the fire in their yards.
They look almost like a lump of charcoal.
And while schools are set to reopen today, some environmentalists say the toxic chemicals streaming into the air could become a threat to people living in the area at any time.
By looking behind me, you can tell that this is not normal, this is not fine. The only thing that's preventing this from being a major catastrophe is favorable weather conditions.
And outdoor activities for schools near here are canceled as a precaution. Officials say they expect this massive fire to keep burning, saying it may not be out until tomorrow. Michael.
Wow, fine. Thank you so much, Marcy. And now we're going to go to those new warnings about major flooding in the Midwest as more states are on alert for record flooding and more rain moves in. ABC's Gio Benitez in Nebraska with the latest. Good morning, Gio.
Michael, good morning to you. Yeah, the waters rose so quickly here that we are just now seeing the true extent of the destruction left behind as these waters recede. But take a look at that house behind me, because it is still surrounded by water this morning. Let's go ahead and show you what we are seeing across this state right now, because more than 2/3 of Nebraska counties are still in a state of emergency this morning. 14 bridges have been destroyed and at least 3 people have died. Now, this all started because the ground was already frozen from record snow and cold. Then water levels rose in those rivers. The water had nowhere to go, and then the warm-up started. The flooding did too. Officials here are calling this now the most extensive damage this state has seen so far. It will take months, possibly even longer, for this state to recover. Michael?
All right, thank you so much, Gio. Now we're going to go to Ginger. And Ginger, when will the worst of this be over?
Oh, for Nebraska, you got another ½ inch of rain or so on the way. It's happening now, but look at these pictures. The rivers in Missouri, in Illinois, still forecast to go up to 3 feet higher than what you're seeing right there. This is north of St. Louis. Those homes isolated like islands, and again, they still have more water coming. Then you look at near Kelowna, Illinois. So this is the Rock River, and near Moline, they're in major flood stage, worst flooding since 2013. Where's it all coming from? That snowpack. It is so intense. Remember, lots of places had their snowiest Februarys on record, if not their snowiest winters, from the northern Great Lakes through the northern plains. So you see all those flood warnings stretch all the way down to Memphis, down the Mississippi, into Louisiana. We're going to be watching this, Michael and Robin, for weeks.
Yeah, it is massive. Ginger, thank you. Now the latest on that possible terror attack in the Netherlands. A 3rd person is now in custody after a gunman opened fire on a tram, killing 3 people and wounding 5 others. Ian Pannell is on the scene for us with more. Good morning, Ian.
Yeah, good morning, Robin. Breaking right now, the police here just announcing that there was no personal relationship between the main suspect and those victims. That indicates there was no personal motivation. Also, they're saying that they found a letter in the car that he used to escape, suggesting a possible terrorist motive. That police investigation still very much underway. Overnight, police arresting a 3rd suspect in connection with the shootings that have shocked a nation. Gunfire erupting on a Dutch commuter tram mid-morning yesterday, raising immediate fears this could be related to the New Zealand terror attack. The gunman wielding an automatic weapon, killing 3 and wounding 5 more. The attacker then fleeing the scene, sparking a massive manhunt. The city of Utrecht locked down and heavily armed counter-terrorism police swooping in with dozens of tactical officers moving through the streets of Utrecht. Authorities now have this man in custody, identified as a key suspect. Seen here on a tram shortly before the attack. He's 37-year-old Gutman Tannis, known to the authorities and has a criminal record.
We are investigating all possibilities, so that means possible terrorist motives, but also other possible personal motives.
Well, the victims are a 19-year-old woman and 2 men, one aged 28, the other 49. 3 others are said to be severely wounded. 3 people in custody. The Dutch police can 3 days without charge. But this investigation still goes on into exactly what happened right here and, crucially, why. Michael?
All right, so much more to investigate. Thank you so much, Ian. And as investigators try to determine a motive for that Netherlands shooting, U.S. intelligence officials are sharing new concerns that there could be an increase in attacks
after that mass shooting at two mosques in New Zealand. ABC's Will Carr in Christchurch with more. Good morning to you, Will.
Good morning, Michael. Authorities both here in New Zealand and in the United States say there is a real concern over copycats. It comes as both ISIS and Al-Qaeda are calling for retaliation. So law enforcement across the world is on high alert after 50 people were killed here in New Zealand. 30 people are still in the hospital, and the Prime Minister says the gunman will face the full force of the law.
He sought many things from his act of terror, but one was notoriety. And that is why you will never hear me mention his name. He's a terrorist. He's a criminal. He's an extremist.
The Prime Minister says she wants to strengthen the country's gun laws in the next 10 days. They don't have the Second Amendment here in New Zealand, so you could see those sweeping changes pretty quick. Michael.
All right, thank you so much, Will. I'm pretty sure some people say the sooner, the better. Thank you. George?
Okay, Michael, to the White House now. President Trump's lawyers heading to court this morning to face questions about the Trump International Hotel and whether the president is profiting off of foreign governments in violation of the Constitution. ABC's Kara Phillips is outside the hotel. And Kara, this lawsuit poses a pretty serious threat to President Trump.
Good morning, George. That's right. You're absolutely right. It could. This historic lawsuit about the hotel behind me has nothing to do with Russian election interference or the special counsel, but it could reveal the inner financial workings of the Trump organization.
It's hailed as Washington's exclusive social club. Stop by any night, and you may walk into Corey Lewandowski's book party or Rudy Giuliani's Guys Night Out. Even the president himself dropping in for dinner. There's also the foreign VIPs, dignitaries from Bahrain, Azerbaijan, even a South Korean politician live streaming his dinner, and the Kuwaiti embassy recently hosting its annual gala. 2 cabinet secretaries in attendance. But now, a historic lawsuit filed by the D.C. and Maryland attorneys general, calling into question those foreign patrons, claiming President Trump is profiting off foreign governments. And they say that's a violation of the U.S. Constitution.
We can prove that the President of the United States, a major owner of the Trump Hotel, is in fact receiving monies from foreign countries.
Their lawsuit alleging President Trump is violating the Constitution's Foreign Emoluments Clause, which bars those in office from accepting gifts or profiting from a foreign government. Trump's attorneys fighting back, arguing that foreign dignitaries are not attempting to curry favor with the president by patronizing the Trump Hotel, but may simply just prefer the Trump brand, and that the president isn't prohibited from engaging in private business transactions.
Now, George, the Trump organization telling ABC News that they donated last year's profits from foreign governments to the U.S. Treasury. We're talking about $191,000. They also say we do not market to or solicit foreign government businesses. Trump's attorneys want to see the lawsuit dismissed, but prosecutors want the court to allow them to start gathering evidence. They've already issued dozens of subpoenas, George.
Yeah, to answer those questions at the end. And this isn't the only place where the president's facing questions over this issue. Congress looking into it as well.
Absolutely. Trump's potential financial conflicts of interest have also attracted the attention of the House Oversight and Judiciary Committees. It's a main focus, George, of those 81 letters sent to people and businesses connected to Donald Trump earlier this month. George?
Okay, Kara, thanks very much, Michael.
All right, thank you, George. And now that new alert about spring break dangers, that emergency meeting is getting underway in Miami Beach this morning after a series of fights broke out and 2 college football players were robbed and shot nearby. ABC's Victor Oquendo is in Miami Beach. Good morning, Victor.
Good morning, Michael. The mayor of Miami Beach has seen so many of those videos of those fights that broke out right here along Ocean Drive on Miami Beach. He calls the situation unacceptable, now calling for that emergency meeting to discuss safety concerns during spring break.
This all-out melee on famed Ocean Drive, one of several brawls across Miami Beach in the days since spring break kicked off. This morning, police say they're cracking down to prevent the widespread violence and unrest from escalating. The city giving police an additional $700,000 this year so more officers can be on patrol, mostly for spring break, even using infrared radar technology to keep an eye on growing crowds after dark.
I sent letters to somewhere around 300 or 400 college presidents across the United States,
in addition to the presidents of every Greek fraternity or sorority, we're cracking down on quality of life offenses like drinking in public, smoking weed.
And on Saturday, 2 college football players from Texas A&M Commerce were robbed and shot outside downtown Miami. Both Jay Bias and Xavier Morris in the hospital in stable condition.
They were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. They'd come in on a red eye to start spring break, and literally the first place they went was to the grocery store, and unfortunately didn't quite make it back.
Police still gathering details on what led up to this shooting.
Miami Beach police gearing up for yet another big weekend here. They prepare for about 6 weeks of spring break. Robin, it is far from over.
It is. All right, Victor, thank you. Now to new fallout this morning from that college admissions scandal. USC is now cracking down on current and former students who may be involved in the alleged scheme. Our chief national correspondent, Matt Gutman, has more from Los Angeles. Good morning, Matt.
Robin, good morning. This is a big shift from the university. Until now, it said it would only take action against kids who were involved in the application process. Now it's going for students who are actively enrolled in the college, and it's just after spring break here at the university campus, and it means a lot of students who were involved in that alleged bribery scheme by Rick Singer will not be able to re-enroll in classes during the spring semester. They're also not going to be able to have their school transcripts. That could affect transfer to a different school or even job applications in the future. Now, among the most prominent faces in this category are Olivia Jade and her sister. They are the daughters of Full House star Lori Loughlin. Now, none of these kids actually face any legal consequences. All of them could face expulsion.
And Matt, we're hearing that another parent has turned herself in?
That's right, 11 days early. Now, that was in Boston in a court there. She and her husband are accused of spending $600,000 allegedly in bribes to try to get their kids into USC and UCLA. Now, she was released on $1 million bond, did not make a plea, but faces up to years in prison if convicted. Robin.
All right, Matt, thank you. This is far from over.
Not even close yet. Okay, now to another Hollywood executive forced out in this Me Too moment. The head of Warner Brothers has stepped down amid an internal investigation into whether he promised movie roles when he was having a sexual relationship. Lindsay Davis has the details.
A major fall for a media giant. Warner Brothers Studio CEO Kevin Tsujihara, who's led the company through lucrative films like Aquaman, A Star is Born, and the Lego movies, is now stepping aside after allegations of sexual misconduct. The 54-year-old studio chief was said to have been pushing for auditions for the woman he was alleged to be having an extramarital affair with, British-born actress and singer Charlotte Kirk. Has appeared in small roles in hit movies like Ocean's 8.
Services for guys? No. Where are the others?
Tsujihara, who was 54, initially denied the allegations, but then leaked text to The Hollywood Reporter pointed to a sexual relationship. Tsujihara reportedly telling Kirk, "I need to be careful." And later, the actress reportedly writing, "You're very busy, I know, but when we were in that motel having sex, you said you would help me." Tsujihara's personal attorney has stated Mr. Tsujihara had no direct role in the hiring of this actress. In a letter announcing his resignation, Tsujihara wrote, "We have decided that it is in Warner Brothers' best interest that I step down as chairman and CEO. Kirk previously released her own statement saying, "I emphatically deny any inappropriate behavior," also adding, "Mr. Tsujihara never promised me anything."
Warner Media released a statement saying in part the company continues to work with a third-party law firm to complete its investigation with Mr. Tsujihara's cooperation. Charlotte Kirk has released her own statement saying that she is deeply saddened to see Tsujihara step down. I think it's important to also make the distinction that Tsujihara does not face sexual harassment or any kind of misconduct issue here. There's a California law that basically forbids bosses from having sex with subordinates, even if it's consensual. That's what he faces.
A law for that?
Apparently so.
Well, we find common sense. Learn something new every day, though. There's a law for it, Robin. All right, thank you so much, Lindsay. We're going to go now to an incredible moment on the court from the one and only Steph Curry. Take a look at this. The two-time MVP might start out a little cold in the game last night against the Spurs, but this unbelievable buzzer beater at the end of the first quarter was straight fire. Yeah, 61-foot three-pointer from the opponent's three-point line is the farthest shot anyone has hit in the NBA this season. but it still doesn't break Curry's personal record of 62 feet. Back in the 2015 playoff, I don't know who's measuring you guys, you know. But it wasn't enough for the Warriors. They still lost the game. The Spurs beat them 111 to 105. But I got to tell you, last time George and I played, he made that shot on routine. It was like nothing. He was like, yours was like this. Curry who?
And he posed like that. About it's March Madness time. This morning, we now know the seedings for the women's tournament that were unfortunately accidentally leaked in advance. Some big twists. For the first time since 2006, perennial powerhouse UConn is not a #1 seed. The 11-time national champs entering the big dance as the #2 seed. So, the #1 seeds are defending champion Notre Dame, last year's runner-up Mississippi State, Hail State, Baylor, which is the overall top #1 seed, and Louisville. Tennessee on the bubble, making the tournament for a record 38 straight times. Every single time they made the tournament.
That is incredible. Overnight, Boeing CEO spoke out after those 2 deadly crashes. We're going to tell you what he said that's raising some questions. Plus, we're going to take you inside a Boeing 737 simulator to show what may have gone wrong. That is ahead, but right now we want to go to Ginger.
And I've got to get to the Tuesday trivia brought to you by Capital One.
Minimums and fees, they seem to be the very foundation of a typical bank. Capital One is anything but typical. That's why we designed Capital One Cafes. You can get savings and checking accounts with no fees or minimums. And one of America's best savings rates. To top it off, you can open one from anywhere in 5 minutes. This isn't a typical bank. This is banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Upper 20s and low 30s in place for us all red this morning. Sun up just before 7 o'clock. And you can plan on plenty of sunshine for today. Highs at 47 degrees. 33 tonight, 48 tomorrow. A few more clouds.
Next flight, John David Washington. And Planet Condor. Yeah, and Jimmy Fallon.
Today at 9, right after GMA.
Get that second cup of coffee. We're just getting started. Be right back.
Thanks for calling United Healthcare, Mrs. Murphy.
Hi, I need help getting an appointment with my podiatrist.
How's Wednesday at 2?
I can't. Dog agility.
Thursday at 10?
Sorry, put up what could.
Tuesday.
What about cage match?
How about the 28th at 3?
Done.
With United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans, including the only plans with the AARP name, there's so much to take advantage of. From scheduling appointments to finding specialists, it's easier to get the care when you need it.
They say you're supposed to deny your cravings. You know what I do instead? I snack on Blue Diamond almonds. Wasabi and soy sauce? Don't deny your cravings. Eat them.
All the flavors you crave in a superfood. Blue Diamond almonds. Crave victoriously.
Symptoms of hepatitis C.
Mine caused liver damage.
Epclusa treats all main types of chronic hep C. Whatever your type, ask your doctor if Epclusa is your kind of cure.
I had the common type.
Mine was rare.
Epclusa has a 98% overall cure rate.
I just found out about my hepatitis C.
I knew for years. Epclusa is only one pill, once a day, taken with or without food for 12 weeks. Before starting Epclusa, your doctor will test if you have had hepatitis B, which may flare up and could cause serious liver problems during and after treatment. Tell your doctor if you have had hepatitis B, other liver or kidney problems, HIV or other medical conditions, and all medicines you take, including herbal supplements. Taking amiodarone with Epclusa may cause a serious slowing of your heart rate. Common side effects include headache and tiredness. Ask your doctor today if Epclusa is your kind of cure.
Little choices make a big difference, like nutritious fruit smoothies. However, you healthy? Make it.
Upgrade to new Tide Pods 2.0. And get 50% more cleaning power in the palm of your hand. For a powerful clean in one step. #1 stain and odor fighter. #1
trusted. It's got to be Tide. When you're confident in your gut, you feel confident to take on anything. With Benefiber, you feel the power of gut health confidence every day. Benefiber is a 100% natural prebiotic fiber. Benefiber. Trust your gut.
Some things are out of your control, like bedhead. Rub-a-dub ducky. And then there's National Car Rental. At National, I'm in total control. I can just skip the counter and choose any car in the aisle I like. So I can run fast without getting a hair out of place. Hey. Hey. Control. Go National. Go like a pro.
Search WISN 12 in the App Store and download our free app. Now a WISN 12 News Update.
12 News Time, 7:23. Guardians of the Children will hold a candlelight vigil tonight for Nolani Robinson. A passerby found little Nolani's body wrapped in a blanket in a ditch along a Minnesota highway on Friday. Authorities issued an Amber Alert after police found her mother shot to death. Prosecutors charged her father in the death of her mother. Tonight's vigil is at Memorial Park at 6:30 on 8th and Concordia. WISN 12 News Time, 7:23. Let's take a live look outside as we head to break. We have a great forecast coming up for the week. We'll have that with Sally, plus a check of your morning commute coming up next.
Listen for Weather Watch 12 updates on 102.9 The Hog.
Meet the latest winner of our $25,000 home makeover sweepstakes, Christian and Cindy Bittner of Brookfield.
For your chance to win, just go to WeatherTightCourt.com and click on the $25,000 home makeover sweepstakes button.
Visit McNabb